Thank you so much for tuning in to this week on Martha's Vineyard. We have a special to you tonight coming live from the Strand where they have the premiere of Beyonce's Renaissance. We are so excited to share that with you tonight. First, we're going to dive into a little bit of news before we tell you what's been going on behind the scenes at the Strand. First things first, next Wednesday, votes will be taken to determine the future of over-the-sand vehicles on Chappie. It's a debate that's been going on for quite some time as the trustees of the reservation are hoping to continue the program that allows people to drive out to enjoy the beaches, but residents say the process has been mismanaged and understaffed. So some say the properties must stay open not only during shellfishing season, as the trustees are hoping to also restore the area during the drop-in visitors over the winter. But as of right now, that is all up in the air. That vote again taking place next Wednesday night. And a law regulating short-term rentals in West Tisbury may have an impact on the winter shuffle and weekenders. The draft bylaw in West Tisbury aims to make short-term rentals 30 days or fewer, limiting them to fewer than 12 days per year with a minimum of 7 days per rental. Under the proposal, the homeowner would have to live on the property for at least 1 month in the year and register it with the town for an additional $350 per year. Now, the details are still being sorted out in all this, but properties would, of course, be subjected to inspection and ultimately aims to end corporations buying residential properties for profit that could go to longstanding islanders that would be a part of the community. So, that's your local news here for this week on Martha's Vineyard, and we want to turn it over right now to Chris. Chris has been doing all of the behind-the-scenes work for tonight. Can you tell us what the process has been in getting everything started and getting Beyonce on the big screen at the Strand?
Well, showing a film like Renaissance is a kind of a different kettle of fish. It's a feature film that comes from the studios, so they have a lot of exactitude that you have to hit to show a film. You have to use a certain projector, has to have a certain sound system, has to reach certain standards. So, and then at the end they have it's an encrypted film, so you get a hardware key, a software key that comes, and it only lets you play the film from one point in time to another point in time. They control the media quite strictly because this is their bread and butter. Of course, this is the studio's work. So we had in the summer, our audio processor went out. We had to get an audio processor. We had to reset the stage for film only. So we had to reposition the screen and the sound system on the stage. Then we had to fine tune the sound system, like every speaker, and then balance it. And that all took quite a lot of time. And that's what they ask. That's what you have to do. People expect it, a certain level of quality when they go to a feature film. So that's what we try to meet. So.
And I'd love to dive into that a little bit deeper because obviously, you want it to feel like you're right there on stage with Beyonce. And I think a lot of people would think, okay, just put the movie on and we'll just watch it and we'll sit. But it's not quite that simple. There's just so much work that goes into giving that, live at a concert vibe and experience that people are getting there tonight.
Well, the mix in this film is very different. It's a concert mix. So even though it's shown, it's sort of a balance between showing it in a feature theater, but yet you have a sound system that has to. So we had to, go in there, Steve and I and Frank, and listen and walk back upstairs and make adjustments and go downstairs and listen until we got what we thought was sort of the sweet spot for the sound, because surround sound here is important with a concert because that's the sound of the audience, and to make the people sitting in the seats feel like they're in the audience, all that balance has to be done right. So that's what we spent the last couple of days doing.
So you said you spent the last couple of days. How many hours has that taken for you to get this to the point where you feel like this is ready to be shown?
50 or 60? No, Steve. No, probably all told, to get this all about 18 hours. Now, you got to remember that there was already a projector here. I ran this theater for 6 years, so I knew about this projector. About a year ago, we had another issue with replacement of a big board in the projector, and so all these things had to be done to get to this point. They weren't all just done in the last few days. That was done about a year ago. The integrated media block had to be replaced, and just Steve has been having the faith to do it, has put up some money to to do what we had to do.
Yeah, I'm broke now, but it's fun. I enjoy doing what I do, but it's a team that really makes this theater really run, bring life into it. And so when you talk about audio processors, when you talk about mixers, when you're talking about adjusting the screen, and just understanding that you want to hear the drum, you want to hear a flute, you want to hear a trumpet, you want to hear Beyonce's voice. There's so much details that go into this, and I didn't realize this as an average movie goer. I would just go to a movie and just enjoy it. But now that I know the ins and out and what it takes to put on something like this is unbelievable, because we do second run movies. Basically, we get a Blu-ray, DVD, and pop it in and hit play. But it's nothing like that when you have this feature type of film, and the fact that it's a music concert slash documentary slash behind the scenes. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. So they I just hope that this does just as well as Taylor Swift film, if not better.
Well, I mean, we're dealing with the queen. Queen bee cannot be disputed in any way.
Yeah, so one of the cool
So,
things about it, I actually had the opportunity to see it live. So I went to see her in New Orleans, which was supposed to be her last concert, but because they had a rain out or something in Kansas City, she had to make that date up. But just looking at the production that went into this film, or into her concert, I should say, uh, you know, I think they had like three different trucks, where one truck was setting up, the next concert, and then they had another truck that was two concerts ahead. So it's just a lot of stuff like that with production, just it's unbelievable. And this movie is actually inspiring, just to see the work ethic. And I think they planned this out 4 years. So it didn't just happen overnight.
and a lot happened in that 4 years. I know this film is, yes, it's a concert experience, but there's also a lot of, information and stories and background and just like a peek into his life that other people really weren't seeing, because you see the show on stage, but you don't know what's happening really behind the scenes until someone actually tells you, you know?
Yeah, and so when you look at this film, you see stuff like when they were in concert that the audio went out. So I mean that was a whole little you know you know something that can always anything can happen at these particular concerts, these live events. But they came back like pros and act like nothing ever happened. So
Kind of like us,
yeah, right.
especially with our Skype problem tonight.
Exactly. We got Skype problems, we got this and that, but we got Mike on the helm over there, so he's doing a great job, and much respect to him. And again, these technical guys, I mean, you gotta really take your hat off to them because they make the production look good.
This is true. Yeah, we got a ways to go. Actually, it seems like almost every problem we have is caused by a Skype situation. But we were trying to do some live shooting downstairs, and last minute we decided to scrap it because it was just becoming a problem. But we did run a little video from down there. You want to show it, Mike? This was just earlier before it started. Before we.
People are here to see come to the Beehive to see Beyonce. Yes,
Beyonce.
I thought they were gonna wear all silver though. That's the thing. It's too cold. It's too cold for all silver. Okay, but I'm excited. We're gonna be running all weekend. This weekend, next weekend, the following weekend, all the way into Christmas weekend. So every show is at 7 p.m. Thursday through Sunday every week. So come hang out with us at the Strand Theater. Big time. So we got 7 minutes to showtime.
Okay.
And the bass, everything, the sound levels are just adjusted just perfect. It's going to be like you were at the concert. So that's what we're trying to do, create this concert experience.
All right. And tell us what had to go into doing this. Well, we're talking with Chris in a minute upstairs, but I know you had to do a lot of work to get this theater ready to be able to show
We had
this
to do
movie.
a lot of work. We just had to get our levels together. Other side. This is the entrance to the Beehive. You ready? All right. You want to take us online?
Yeah.
All right. What's the last name? You got it right there. Okay. Thank you. All right. And then I'll scan the next one. All right. Welcome, welcome.
Wow, all this high tech.
Yeah, it's high tech here, you know.
So is it true that you're friends with Beyonce?
Yeah, I am friends with Beyonce. She and I used to date. And then I put her down because she kind of like Jay-Z. No, no, that's not the case. I don't want Jay-Z beating me up. No.
Well, they do come here. I mean, they come to the vineyards. At least they used to.
Yeah, they used to, but they need to come and hang at right here with us.
I know. Why is that?
So
everybody's afraid of the paparazzi now.
No, no paparazzi here. It's just we keep it together for them, you know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Beehive. All right. Hey, get it, girl, get
it. Yeah, we have fun here at the Strand Theater. We like to really engage with our guests and make them really feel at home. So this theater is their theater as well. That's how I look at it. It's a community, a spot for the community to come and engage with different things, whether it's music, whether it's comedy, whether it's workshops, speaker symposiums. Just last week during Black Friday, we had the open market event here where small vendors came in and displayed their stuff and it was up for sale. So I really feel good about what we're doing here, Colin. And so we go and Emma, we're just going to keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Like 1 year ago, we hadn't even started to build this studio that we're coming from, and this screen back here is blocked out because that's a window to the stage. They don't want the light. That's actually the movie is on right now behind us.
Take a little peek. Can they see? There you go. All right, there it is. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but you got to come see it here at the Strand. You don't want to look through the window.
Absolutely.
Now, how many people do you think you have there tonight so far, and what's the response been from the crowd?
So tonight is the premiere opening night. I think we have about 45 people in there, which I think is good for a Thursday. But the weekend, we're sure we're going to generate more people because the word's going to get out, and people have been inquiring about it already. And so Beyonce has this national appeal, worldwide appeal. So we think people are going to come from all over, and experience it.
I want to make a point here that I don't know, it's probably been about 15 years since this happened, but one winter I was here and I went to the movies. I decided to go to the movies. This is how different winter was back then.
Okay.
And I went to the Strand Theater in Vineyard Haven, and I was the only one there. And I said, "You guys don't have to show the movie just for me." They're like, "Oh no, we'll watch it too." So I sat there with the people that were running the place and watched the movie. So it's changed a lot now.
Yeah. Different day in time. So, but I'm just glad people are coming back because COVID, disrupted the industry quite a bit.
Sure did.
People weren't going to movies, and so now that all this pent up, frustration, I guess if you will, now they're coming out, they're experiencing it, and just you got the popcorn smelling good, you got hot dogs, you got the drinks and everything else. It's just kind of what you do, date night, or just want to get away and just really enjoy the arts. So,
do you think there was a race between Taylor Swift and Beyonce to see who got to the screen first, or are they completely different artists?
Well, I mean, I think there's, when you look at those two, I think they're very competitive. I mean, in order to get to that level, you have to have some sort of something in you, to make you want to be number one or make you be the greatest or, be an icon.
Same with Kelsey.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who he is now, probably because of, well, I mean, he was pretty popular before.
Yeah, but no, he got 1 million new followers.
Oh, did he really?
Because of Taylor Swift, yes.
That's amazing to me.
So,
I changed my football team to go Taylor's boyfriend on our fantasy league.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, so, I mean, it's something about Hollywood, following these artists, these entertainers, where they live, what they drive. I mean,
well, they're definitely the it couple, I guess, right? You can't get any more it than that.
Yeah, I mean,
Super Bowl tight end and the biggest pop star that's ever lived, I think, right?
Yeah, well, internationally known. I mean, when you can go to Argentina and sell out an arena, that's saying something, And Beyonce going to Stockholm, and selling out an arena. We're just trying to sell 230 seats here,
Right.
But they're doing, and like I say, when I was at the Superdome to see Beyonce, I think that was 70,000 seats, maybe even more. I don't know, but it's unbelievable that,
Yeah.
that star power. And so,
Yeah, and those tickets aren't cheap.
no, they're not. And I'm glad my wife bought them because if I would have found out the price beforehand, we would not have gone.
It's a mortgage payment.
Yeah, I was like, what? Okay, but it was a great experience.
But I
Great
bet you
show.
I bet you they make more money from the movie than they do from the concerts. Ultimately, because and that's why I think that it's good that they do this because it would be out of the question for a normal family to take their kids to a concert these days. It's so expensive.
Well, that's just like with sports.
Yeah, just like sports. I mean, I used to go to a Red Sox game, $5. I don't know what it is now, but it's
Those
not
days are gone.
$5. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, $5 just to get some water.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's reasonable price for water. I think it's on 750.
okay.
Is it really?
So I need to increase my price.
750,
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
it is pretty amazing. I mean, that's why you can really appreciate when people put in the effort for what you're paying for. I mean, I went to a Bruce Springsteen concert a little while ago, and it was amazing. It was like, it wasn't cheap, it was fairly expensive for my budget, but man, that guy, I mean, he's 72 years old, and he was 3.5 hours, and he never stopped. I mean, he slowed down a little bit in between the songs, but man, he really played it. These two performers, Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Beyonce's like known for being, her work ethic and her energy
Yeah.
is amazing.
I mean, you're gonna. I mean, you just say her first name, Beyonce. I mean, you'll know
Yeah.
who it is. I mean, you say Mike. Well, that could be Michael Jordan or it could be Michael Jackson. Mike
Mike
Tyson.
Silva.
Or Mike.
Oh, he's famous now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when they just recognize you by your first name, I mean, you've made it. You're so far. I mean, Prince. What's Prince's last name?
Well, he wasn't even
I don't even
Prince.
know.
Wasn't he? He was a symbol formerly known as Prince.
Right. So there you have it. He's a symbol. So.
I didn't even know Beyonce had a last name.
But I would be
like Madonna.
amazed to go. Yeah, Madonna. Right. I would be. How happy are these people? I mean, are they lonely up at the top? That's what I would want to have that kind of conversation with them.
Well, I think that these days it's got to be tough to be, everybody's got a cell phone and you can't, used to be, when I first came to the Vineyard, excuse me, 29 years ago, there was, you would see celebrities all over the place. There was, I mean, I've seen Billy Joel several times. I saw him here. Princess Diana, I saw her in Kronig's Market. I can't tell you all of them. There was so many. But now you don't see them much at all.
While we were tuning up everything, I saw one of the clips where she says, I don't know where she was, but she was somewhere far, far away with her family. And she was saying that, my kids can be to themselves now. They don't have to see paparazzi and,
She's got to get far, far away from
you
that,
got to get
right?
far, far. Yeah, I think they should somewhere in France, somewhere,
Well, she was. I remember that when the paparazzi first started here. Excuse me, was a reporter for the Times, or photographer for the Times, chased Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like I heard it chased them through the dunes at South Beach, like trying to get their picture. Now, like imagine what it's like now with everybody has a cell phone.
yeah, everybody wants something.
So there's, I mean, they come here, but they stay to themselves in private areas.
So I don't have that problem. Emma might have that problem. She's famous. Everybody knows Emma, so
I know, right? Me and my large chateau over here.
Right.
Now she's trying to be unfamous,
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
but it's too late. But I remember when we were doing the news in Providence. Well, a lot of people don't, from us, our background, don't remember you from there because they didn't. It's out of our market. But Emma used to do the live news
Right.
in Providence, and she did. What was the one that was there a live shooting somewhere, active shooter somewhere? I remember seeing a clip about that.
Yeah, I covered quite a few different quite a few different scenes while I was there that some of them were kind of scary. The one I'll never forget is there was one I went to cover, and it was a fire in a house, and they said, "Oh, you have to step back, media lines back here, step back," and then they kept pushing, and I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, there's live ammo in the basement, and it's on fire." And I was like, "Oh, cool, great." So,
Yeah, let's get out of
and
here.
I mean, yeah, it was very thrilling, and I'm like, trying to call the producer and be like, "Hey, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" And they're like, "No,
Run.
you have to stay on scene. We have to get the shot. We have to get this." And that. I was like, "Okay, get the shot. Don't get shot." Like, like there's a lot that you have to be really careful with, and that's where you have to give a lot of credit to like first responders, man. Like they're out there, they're in it. Like they were still running into the house to get the cat, and it's wild when you see that stuff and you see the perspective of yeah, it's really crazy industry to work in.
So
For
tell
sure.
us what you're doing. I was just seeing a video that she had put up about her newest ventures, which I already knew this. I mean, you've been doing, it's not new. I mean, you've been covering charity events for quite a while now, but now it's kind of kicking into a different kind of gear now, right?
Yeah, so I turned it into a business. Essentially, I, went from taking my experience working in the media industry and the experience of working with nonprofits to try to fuse the two of them together. Something I noticed is as a journalist and a storyteller, there are so many different foundations and great causes out there, but their stories aren't really being told. And I noticed that the problem behind it was that, you have all these charitable foundations that are trying to take the traditional route, right? They're trying to, do the social media day of, they're sending the press releases, hoping the news comes, hiring photographers, videographers. They just want one person to share their story, right? They need that to share with their sponsors, to share with, hopefully their donors, to be able to understand who they are, what they do, and how much fun people can have giving back. And so I thought to myself, well, this is crazy. I know how to make new style packages. I know how to share these stories. I'm, pretty well versed in social media, and, I have a network of photographers and videographers that I've worked with. So why don't I just be their, one-stop shop and offer comprehensive media services at a price people can afford? So I decided to just do it myself. It's one of those things, right? They say if you want it done right, do it yourself. So I did. So that's what I do now. Is I, work with a lot of different nonprofits of all different kinds. I mean, from dog, rescues to veteran awareness, for suicide prevention to, I mean, all different kinds of nonprofits. Large scale profits like the, Boston Bruins Foundation, Red Sox Foundation, down to like local mom and pop foundations, and everything in between. There are just so many different ways to have fun and give back. So I decided to take that content to give people, that content for the nonprofits, but also create a space on my blog and website to be able to put all of those events in one place. So people that want to get out and give back and have fun and are looking for new different ways to do that, they can just go to my page and they can say, hey, there's this fun event that Emma did. I want to go to that. I want to learn more about them. I'd love to support them in the future. So it's kind of a hybrid concept where it's, showing people where they can get out and have fun and give back that otherwise wouldn't have heard of these foundations, and then giving that content to the foundations to share in a way that helps to, promote them and help spread their message and their story.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, filling a niche. But what is the page? You said
so the page, it's Emily Reed. So it's my name. So it's my Instagram, my Facebook, and my blog and website, just all under Emily Reed. I struggled. It's funny. Like I sat on this idea for, I tell you, 2 years, Colin, because I couldn't come up with a name. I literally had no idea what to call it. I'm like, I don't know anyone that does this. I don't know how to describe this. It's just me. It's what I do. So I finally was like, well, okay, screw it. Like, this is who I am. This is what I do. Follow me for fun events. Like, just, this is what it is. And I've just kind of kept it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think at one point you did have a name, though, didn't you? Didn't you have like positive?
Yeah. So for a little bit, I had Good News New England.
Oh yeah, that was the one.
The problem that I had with it was a lot of people were aligning it with a religious connotation, So a lot of people, which, and granted, like, yeah, I'm a Christian, but like that wasn't what it was. And I think a lot of people had this connotation of like, I was trying to, just do like religious things. And I was like, well, no, like this is really for nonprofits. Like this is positive news and like positive events and ways you can give back. So that was something that, I kind of went back and forth for a little while over. And ultimately, the show did have to stop when I took a larger role in mainstream media. So I had to step back for actual reasons. And so when I came back, I kind of rethought, okay, how would I rebrand? How would I do it differently? And this is just kind of what happened. So here we are, and it's been a lot of fun.
Great. Well, I'm sure we'll see you on the Vineyard covering some events. There's a lot of benefits and nonprofits, and right.
We got to get that.
We've been trying to make this place one of them for
we're gonna make it happen.
Steve.
So yeah, we're gonna hire Emma.
Mostly so I can have a casino night here. I love playing craps. I don't want to go all the way to the Foxborough.
I gotcha.
Yeah. No, I'm just joking.
I'm actually gonna. I gotta
let
run
me know.
downstairs.
So Steve's got to go because he's got to go sell some popcorn. But
yeah, I got to milk.
Well, I'll be.
Got to add some butter to the popcorn. But it's been great. I love it, and I got to check on my fans. I'm sorry, the Beyonce fans.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for chatting.
I don't know if you heard that in the background. Those. Can you hear the music?
I can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really.
It's a little treat.
Yeah, it's nice. It's even louder here. So, yeah. So I think that that'll be great if this summer, if you can make some contacts here and do that for people here. I think they'd love that.
I would love to. Yeah, I've already had a couple of conversations, thankfully. So I was talking about coming down to cover Christmas in Edgartown. I'm not sure if that's going to quite play out or not on their end. Because I know it's coming up like it's, really quick.
1 week,
so
I think.
There were a couple. Yeah, there were a couple conversations that I had surrounding that and a few other charitable events. So I'm just trying to. I think part of the issue is that I run into is people just don't know a service like this exists. People are so used to going those traditional routes that they're just not, I think, familiar with the concept yet of having like comprehensive media services. One person does it all. That to them is like, are you sure? Because it seems a little like like it's something that people don't necessarily budget for because they've just never had to. It's just different. People have never done it that way. And I think that the audience on the island is definitely very different. But, I know even for like Illumination, my mom will come in from Falmouth. And people love to travel over for big events like this, like Taste of the Vineyard, Possible Dreams. People will come in from all over. So it's something that I'd love to help highlight and be a part of.
Great. Well, before we get too far off subject, I think we need to show the Beyonce preview of this movie because that was something we should have done while Steve was here, but I forgot to mention it. But for those who want to come see the movie at the Strand, it is going to be here for the next 3 weeks, I believe, right? Right up till Christmas. So on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 o'clock, and we're going to be doing a preview right here so you can check it out.
When I am performing, I am nothing but free.
Is it recording?
The goal for this tour was to create a place where everyone is free and no one is judged. Unique.
Stand by for prop lift down.
Dark brown, dark skin, light skin, beige. Start over, start fresh, create the new. That's what the Renaissance is about.
Everyone! Welcome to Mother's Mind. That's what you are.
dress a certain way, we walk a certain way, we talk a certain way, we paint a certain way, we make love a certain way. At any point, they could close their eyes and be right back there and take it with them. Reaching up to the solar system, we flying over, ocean we flying over, supernatural love up in the air.
What do you think about this tone?
I feel liberated. I have transitioned into a new animal. All of these things we do in a different, unique, specific way.
I just love seeing Blue Ivy get in there. Like that, I think it's so awesome that they have that mother-daughter like bond to be able to perform like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the part where. Uh-oh.
Y'all know what's up?
Oh.
Let me get that lunch money out. Here we go. Episode 5, baby.
I apologize. YouTube must be rolling into the next clip.
Are we back? There we are. Yeah, so the
there we are.
I like that part where they had the her as a kid, you know, and she's throwing off her. I mean that's like a diva, right? That's what she was like with. Then that's what you're talking about, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, the personality. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you just have to have a certain kind of personality to do that, and to be able to see like Blue Ivy, her daughter, on stage with her. Whoa, like that's huge. And seeing the points where she's like, you know, getting on the plane with her babies and just like sitting down and just like spending time with them. I just think it's beautiful. Honestly, I think to be able to live that life where you just like do love and, you know, enjoy your family. I think that's the greatest gift in life of all.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, it's a careful balance, I guess, right? Especially if you're those people that have that kind of schedule. I mean, my God, I'm sure they have help.
Well, and you think about it from a different perspective, right? Like, I mean, I think about it like my job. I love what I do. Like, I get to run my business, do what I love, and play with my son and be home with him. So that's definitely a gift, 100%. But I don't have to worry about all of the, knock on wood, all those things that, you know, like Beyonce is like, is my family physically safe? Are we going to get chased by paparazzi today? Like, listen, if someone comes up to me with a camera at the park, I'm like sweatpants, hair-tied, chilling with no makeup on. Like, I'm a mess, a whole mess with like probably food and snacks and everything and dirty diapers everywhere. Like, it's a disaster. And I think it's one of those things that like us normal people, we have the luxury of like getting away with that. But I think for celebrities, it's fine because you're like, well, I have to keep my family physically safe and present an image, you know, and try to constantly be on top of people that are stalking me at every minute. You always have to be 2 steps ahead. You know, that's a lot of pressure. And I imagine that's probably coming out on the screen right now as you watch Renaissance. You're probably seeing a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, I've heard it now. I can't wait to go see it. I think I'm going to wait until the weekend and do that because unlike Beyonce and these famous people, I'm a working stiff during the day. So we will probably call it quits for tonight. And I will see hopefully some people at the movie on Saturday. It'll be Friday and Saturday coming up. We'll see you at the movies.
All right. See you guys at the movies. Enjoy the show.
Thanks, Emma.
Thanks, Colin.